What about my love? Wasn't it enough? Just let me know.
All right, so for my West winner, I went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It was between two teams.
Come on, Dante, just announce it. We all know it's Wisconsin. Come on.
Nebraska.
Ooh. Let me guess. The other team was Iowa.
Huh?
The other team was Iowa you were debating with.
No. Wisconsin was the other one.
Hey, I thought you were going to go
I like Iowa.
Loki.
I still think they're going to lose some games. Just because I like Cade McNamara and think that he's going to give people to work don't mean that Iowa's going to win games.
Well, I thought you were going to go
He can throw
Iowa
for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns every single game. Don't mean that defense is or the rest of the offense is going to hold up.
Hey, there you go.
You seen Bo Nix play last year, right? Where'd they end up at? It's going to be the same ordeal for Cade McNamara. Watch.
Well, here's the thing. He had that defense, though. That's why I thought you would go Iowa, because of that defense.
Yeah. Nah. The defense is not going to be able to hold them. With everybody that got better and better coaches, too, Iowa's probably going to finish 3rd or 4th in their division, to be completely honest with you.
And then be good.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Cade McNamara, but I think Nebraska's got the juice, man. Did y'all hear what Matt Rule told his kids? So he pretty much threatened those guys and said, y'all want to hit the transfer portal? Y'all want to give up on your team? Guess what happens? If all of you guys were to go to the NFL, if you think you're NFL ready right now, if all of you guys were to go to the NFL next year or declare for the draft, how many people would be on the team? 0.
That's right.
So he said basically, you guys need to stay on the team because eventually one of you guys is going to be starters because some of these guys have to go to the draft and there's going to be positions open. That's basically what he was saying. Some of your teammates are going to graduate and going to declare, and that's going to leave open spots for everybody. So if you bite the bullet and stick with the program and stick with this, you'll eventually be the starter if you're good. That's a pretty... I was like, that's a guy that I would like to play for right there. It makes a lot of sense. When you break it down like that, is that simple? It makes too much sense. Hey man, Jeff Sims has been cooking. Their defense is good. He brought in a lot of coaches. I forget the dude's name that's going to be their offensive coordinator that came from the NFL with them too. The thing about Matt Rule is everywhere he goes, if it's with Baylor, if it's with Temple, we try to say this about Willie Taggart, and we saw that just totally fall flat on his face with Florida State, right? Oh, he could build programs up. Not like Matt Rule can. Matt makes these teams in 2 years into champions. That's what he does. Now he's got all the backing, and in Nebraska, they sell out I think they're on a sellout streak of 20 games or something like that. They sell out stadiums all the time. They got the support of the city. That team's got a lot riding on it. And I think Nebraska's ready to win right now, man. Their tight ends coach, he's got those guys rolling. He's got their fundamentals right. I've been watching, and I'm probably a little biased when I said them, but I'm just a believer of Matt Rule and the way he's got that system rolling. And even Jeff Sims has turned out to be a better passer of the football from what I've seen too in camp. They are cooking and they're serious. And even he had them bunked together or being like regular dorms together during their camp before the season started to get them as a family. He's literally getting the bones of their program together. Saying that you ain't gonna stay in these nice facilities right away. Y'all gonna have to build chemistry with each other. He's got these dudes in camp eating tomahawk steaks and stuff. He's coaching them hard and he's loving them even harder. And I like that about him. So he's back where he belongs in college football. He sucked as an NFL coach and we can't hold that against him because most college coaches that go to the NFL suck. That 90% of them suck, so you can't hold that over his head. But he's a great coach. He's going to get those guys rolling. And when Nebraska is good, college football is good too. It's great for college football. This is what we were saying about Michigan. I think me and Fisher were saying this last year when we first met. When Michigan's good, it's good for college football, regardless if you like it or not. When they suck and don't win against Ohio State, it doesn't make the Big Ten interesting at all. But now that they've won 2 years in a row against them, Penn State's going to be good, and that's going to be good for college football too. I can't wait, man. But I think Nebraska turns the ship around. I usually don't like this out of teams, but from what I've seen, what I've been reading, the things I've been watching, Jeff Sims being good, Matt Rule getting their culture back together, and just Lincoln, Nebraska being behind this dude 100%. It's a smoking gun, but I think they're going to be firing a lot of shots at these teams this year and winning a lot of games. And I think by the time they play the next team that I'll mention as far as my East winner, it's going to be a shootout, man. I don't think both of these teams are going to go down easy. I think Nebraska is going to be for real this year. But that's my pick. Fishing, who you got winning the West?
I like everything you said about Nebraska, bro. I really, really do. The Matt Rule stuff, I love it. The Jeff Sims stuff. I was a fan of Jeff Sims when he was still throwing interceptions at Georgia Tech. I mean, that's how far back I was like a fan of this kid. So I already knew that he was going to do well here, and I knew Matt Rule would get him in shape.
And I meant to mention, not to cut you off, but I meant to mention that Chubba Purdy is a really good quarterback that's waiting to step in if Jeff Sims goes down too. And I wanted him to stay on Florida State bad. You have a really good quarterback room, but go ahead.
Yeah, and that'll compare pretty well to what I'm about to say too. But yeah, look, I think Nebraska's going to be second in that division. I do. I mean, Purdue really cuts it close. I mean, do y'all know who's Purdue head coach is? It's Ryan Walters, the Illinois defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff he did with Illinois was just amazing. So
Beautiful.
I think Purdue's actually going to be a really good team too. And this is kind of a toss up to me. And I kind of hate to say that because it seems like it's Nebraska, Wisconsin. Everybody has favorites, but
Purdue's underrated. They're always
for the runner up in the division. It's Wisconsin. Like, look,
yes,
Tanner Mordecai. That they brought in Tanner Mordecai. If Tanner Mordecai gets hurt or anything like that, or if he doesn't work out, they brought in Nick Evers, the backup quarterback, highly rated 4-star, hasn't played that much, but solid backup option. They got Quincy Burrows and I forget the other guy's name, C.J. Williams in the portal from USC, who was going to be their prime jewel receiver along with the other 5-star they just signed. So I don't think that Wisconsin's in any shape to like. I'll let Hayden just spiel about the rest of it.
I'll be going off. Trust me.
Injong Meta, whatever his name is, I'll let you talk about that because you probably know how to pronounce it. But
who?
This Wisconsin team is not going to win this conference or anything like that. But I think they could be really, really good. And if you look at their schedule, they have an easy chance of going 10-2. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
They might get blown out in the conference title game, but it's kind of how it's been for years, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of how it's been for years. But at the same time, at the end of the year, Luke Fickell could have this thing going, and I think it could be a really, really good team. So I have that, and like I said, watch out for Purdue. Purdue brought a lot of transfers in, and the head coaches, and also Graham Harrell at Purdue.
Yeah,
offensive coordinator.
That's true.
With Hudson Card, don't think he's going to cook a little bit. So I'm telling you.
I think Hudson Card is going to be really good.
Hudson. I think it's, in my opinion, I think it's a battle for number 2 and 3 from Purdue and Nebraska, and I think Wisconsin kind of takes it away just because of the schedule.
Yeah.
Okay, Hayden.
All righty. No surprise here. I got Wisconsin winning the West. Like, just buckle in.
Crap, we didn't know. About to saddle up.
If you couldn't tell, I got Wisconsin winning. But no, here's the thing. Fisher mentioned the schedule. Easy schedule. I have them losing 2 games. The 2 games I have them losing is to Washington State early on. It's at Washington State. It's week 2. I think they're going to have the hiccups here. And then I have them losing to Dante's winner of the West in Nebraska. And those are the only 2 losses I have for Wisconsin this year. I love what they have done with the transfer portal, especially like recruiting they really did not have the full year because Luke Fickell was hired like halfway through like the whole recruiting process, more towards the end of it for 2023. But so far for 2024, he's doing good. He's bringing recruits back to Wisconsin. He is also cooking the transfer portal. He changed that wideout core for one of the worst to a like decent wideout core, bringing in 4-star wideout from USC and CJ Williams, who is unproven but still has that huge potential there. You also brought in 2 3-star wideouts from Cincinnati that he brought with him when he came over. You also brought in a wideout from Oklahoma State, which I'm kind of hopeful he can bring in some good production. So I got that as well.
What? Trey Benson?
Yeah, Trey Benson.
Is it Trey Benson?
Yeah,
Bryson Green.
Yeah, Bryson Green. He had 600
Yeah,
yards.
I thought Trey Benson went to Arizona State.
Yeah, that was somebody different. Bryson Green from Oklahoma State.
Still a good pickup though. Like especially in a Wisconsin room when the number one was like DK. I love DK. He's my guy, but he ain't no number one in college football. So they brought in like depth and good like depth there at receivers. They did lose some offensive line, but looking at the transfer portal, they did address that as well. What is going on?
What?
Oh my
God!
You see what?
Hell
It's not picking up.
What's going on?
I'm so confused. Anyways,
What happened?
look at my thing in like right there.
That was trippy. I'm not gonna lie, but
Yeah.
What
Sorry,
happened?
something happened
trippy.
behind the scenes, y'all. Sorry about that. But you brought in great offensive line transfer from Cincinnati that came with Luke Fickell as well, which is beautiful. So the
don't even
old
know what
line's gonna.
happened.
It's still a little bit there, but whatever. But so overall,
That's
they were able to keep the O-line good. Their biggest loss, in my opinion, was losing Jim Leonard, but it was more like he wanted to move on, which I understand and I get, but I still like the defensive coordinator they brought in to replace him. I also love them bringing in Phil Longo from North Carolina, even though we will make our jokes about North Carolina and the screen passes, he's still going to be good here at Wisconsin. He's going to help out. He's going to find ways to utilize Braylon Allen and Ches Malugi that really was not utilized under Paul Chris at all. So I'm excited about that. And he's going to help like bring Wisconsin passing game back to relevancy, bring it into the modern day era, this offense, which I'm excited for. And yes, hot take, they are beating Ohio State. Boom.
No, they're not.
Now, here we go, fishing, because I was hoping someone would bring it up.
No, they're not.
Why aren't we beating Ohio State? Just tell me why.
Your secondary
Subsided.
isn't that good.
You bring up the secondary. Now, might I add, we improved in the secondary. We brought in,
Bring up your linebackers. That's your best part. Bring it up.
and we took a hit there.
You don't got Nick Herbig anymore.
No, you
Stop.
didn't.
Man, I hope
you
he
lost
cooks
Nick
for
Herbig.
Pittsburgh.
You have everything. You have everybody else back. Start cooking, Hayden.
Nah, you
let
hear
me-
about Nick Herbig? He might not even make the team.
Man was cooking in
know.
preseason. He better make that team. Or
What you mean he was cooking? He looked terrible.
Bro, he had a few sacks in Pittsburgh.
If you don't cook on the linebackers, I will.
Go ahead. Because I
So
want
gotta
another
do it.
point I want to
I'm not
cook
the
on.
Wisconsin fan. I'm not the Wisconsin man.
Look, the linebackers are
Yeah.
always a bright spot
He's
for
the
this
tater
Wisconsin
man.
team. I'm not surprised. But what I want to bring up is Manny was saying, oh, who's going to stop Marvin Harrison? Boy, we slowed. Marvin Harrison didn't even have 50 yards on us last year in that blowout game, 52-21. Somebody else, too, he brings up, oh, they don't
In
got
that
a good
blowout game where we
secondary.
lost.
Shut up. He brings up too. It's like, oh, you guys don't got they got a great D line, bro. Braylon Allen had 165 yards on that D line last year and a touchdown. What? Excuse me. But whatever.
He barely had 1,000 yards rushing, Hayden.
He had 165 versus Ohio State, and that's what I'm talking about here.
Do we need
We
to bring it
both-
back up?
I think we did.
Hey, I know how he finished. He finished with 1,260. Hold up. I got something I want to bring up later on. But no, like he still
He's
put up
gonna come.
over 150 yards on Ohio State's D line. It's at Madison as well. And I'm telling you this, I am not high on this Ohio State team at all. You're going to find out. I think they're going to take 3 losses, 1 to Penn State, 1 to Michigan, and then lose to Wisconsin. I predict I would not be surprised if they beat Wisconsin, but lose to a team like Maryland or even Purdue. What?
Go on, keep going, Wisconsin, man.
So you got that, like, and Wisconsin secondary got better. They brought in good transfers as well to help out the secondary. So I think they're going to be able to get the upset versus Ohio State. Is at Wisconsin. I'm getting major 2011 flashbacks. We upset them number 1. The downfall of Ohio State that year started with us. I love
You
it.
don't make Fisher flip his hat around. We won't never see this.
What?
Sonny, Sonny, I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Oh, shit, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I'm going to be enjoying my brand new mini
damn it,
helmet.
boy.
I'm going to be enjoying my 2 mini helmets from UN Sora this year.
So I gotta brag about your linebackers then. I
Go
guess. Okay.
Go ahead.
So anyway, yeah, not the greatest in the world, but Nick Herbig is gone. But you got, and I never even wanted to say this name, but Njogmeta come back at linebacker. Top 3 linebackers returning.
Yes.
Jordan Turner and then Goetz is his name. Great linebacking core and good defensive line as always. Keanu Benton, not too big of a loss to me. I think Nebraska or Wisconsin is going to be fine on defense, but the talent and depth is what concerns me. And Ohio State has it, and you don't. That's why you're going to lose that game. That's why you're going to lose probably 2 or 3. That's going to be the reason.
Look, I have us losing 2. I'm telling you, Ohio State's going to fall off a little bit. I got them with 3 losses. They're still going to be ranked, but they're going to fall off a little bit. I do know that. I do know that.
All right. Well, that's all I had to say.
I did my research on Ohio State.
Let Tony cook. That's all I had to say.
Here's the fun part. Right? Okay.
All right.
I let Hayden cook because I think.
I thought he was going to cook. He didn't cook.
What
I mean, but here's the thing. Wisconsin's going to win the West, but they're going to lose to Ohio State. So
no, they ain't.
That's all I have to say on that.
So your pick is Wisconsin too,
Tony. Wisconsin as well. I mean, I don't have to explain much when this guy has everything on stat. Like he's ready.
That's true.
Here.
It's true. Hey man. So there goes our West winners. Now we're gonna let Tony cook on the East though. Tony, let us know who your East winner is.
All right, I can tell you it's not Indiana. That's for sure. It's not Indiana. In reality, it was between 1 or 2 teams, and like usual, it was decided by 1 game and 1 game only. It was between Michigan and Ohio State, the big game. And I do think Ohio State is going to go undefeated going into the Big Ten championship game.
Are you serious?
What? I do. I think Ohio State.
I knew this would happen.
I don't think they lose 3 years in a row to Michigan. I just don't see it.
This is at Michigan as well.
I know where it's
at. Bro, you sound like the troll under the bridge.
I have a weird feeling with this team that they're going to put all the pieces together, and I think they will end up in a national championship game.
Does Devin Brown be their quarterback all year long?
I think so. I think that's a possibility.
I still think they're gonna give Kyle McCord a chance on that.
Exactly, and that's what's
they're gonna win a game, but they're gonna win it too close, and it's probably gonna be against Maryland, and they're gonna be like, "All right, Kyle, your turn."
Yeah,
and then they lose to Penn State.
But
you know what they say: if you have multiple quarterbacks, you ain't got no quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
If you got multiple,
what team was it that won? Oh, it was actually Indiana. Indiana came out and named their quarterback, but they didn't release it to the national media. They only released it to the team. So exactly what you said, Fishing. If you got 2 quarterbacks, you ain't got no quarterback. I get.
Look at TCU last year.
It worked out for them.
He got hurt in the first week, and then Max Duggan came in and took him to the playoffs. It's like you never know what you have. But if you have multiple, you don't really have the one, do you? You never know if you have the one.
I mean, they got a good problem because both of them are good. Both of them are highly touted out of high school. So whatever they go, but Tony, you trust Ryan Day that much?
I do. I don't. I truly do.
I
truly do.
Hey, we get to review this at the end of the year. So if you're right, I'm gonna send you some candy.
Yeah.
Okay, Ohio State
where's my candy?
Undefeated in the Big Ten. Michigan 1 loss. Michigan State 2 losses.
What?
Well, this is in the conference, not over.
Oh, in the conference. Okay.
In conference, 2 losses
I thought
overall.
you were talking about.
Penn State 3 losses.
Who's there? Okay, I'm guessing Michigan and
Michigan State,
Ohio
State, and Michigan, isn't that okay?
Yep. Yeah. It is.
Oh my Lord! They're losing against all the rivals. Okay.
Yeah, they are. I'm sorry.
I'm up. Vic's
I
about to fight
knew
you.
it. I knew it as soon as you said 3. I knew exactly which 3 too.
Yep. Hold up. You're gonna have Vic just like throwing hands at you, Tony. Just so you know.
Yo, Vic was about to throw hands with the NCAA last year. Yeah.
And
I know.
Here's the fun part:
Is it?
Penn State losing to Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State.
Oh, Vic will give you Ohio State and Michigan.
Wait, who?
Michigan.
Who losing?
Penn State losing to Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State.
Oh no!
Oh no!
But you believe in Mel Tucker that much too?
I don't. Tony.
Yeah, Vic's going to throw hands with you. I'm gonna clip and send this one to him.
Tony. They
If he ain't
lost
already
their
in here.
starting QB, which is not a big loss there, but they lost their only receiver last year, Jaden Reed.
Woo! Hayden,
So
go ahead and give us your East, man. I like it though.
Yeah.
I like it. Hey, it's your prediction. So at the end of the year, we can
I
come
like
back
it.
and be like,
Come
Tony
back
was
and
right.
I like it. Oh, by the way, this is it.
Yeah,
Oh,
the team just
my
gonna whoop your
Lord.
ass. Yeah,
Nope,
keep
not
tapping on
happening.
it.
Man, you stop it over there.
You really trust JJ McCarthy?
I don't trust JJ McCarthy. I trust Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards behind one of the best offensive line in football. That's what I trust. And they got a very underrated secondary as well. So you got the best.
Nobody's questioning that.
No, you got probably one of the best, if not the best, offensive line in Michigan. You got the best running back duo, hands down. You got Michigan's running backs, everyone else, like duo wise, like
Yeah.
it's not even close. So you got that. So
It's not even close.
JJ McCarthy does not have to do much this year to win the West. Now, will he do good in the playoffs? Heck no. Oregon's gonna kill him. But that's
They're going to kill him.
They're gonna kill him. It's gonna be a massacre out there. No. No, but they like to go through a Big Ten. Like their toughest opponents, in my opinion, are Maryland, Ohio State, and Penn State. I ain't high like you on Michigan State, Tony. I'm sorry, but and last year, look at last year. Who killed Ohio State fishing? Who killed
Me. I killed him.
Me, I did.
Michigan did.
Fishing.
Yeah,
You care to remind the good people in the chat who killed Michigan last year? I mean, Ohio State last year from Michigan.
Blake Corum.
Donovan Edwards.
No, Donovan Edwards. Yeah.
I'm going to say Donovan Edwards had like 2 60+ yards runs for touchdowns on them last year. That's and look, I know they took a loss at the wideout core. I think the wideout core will be fine this year.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, that tight end I was not high on, so I think they'll be fine there as well.
Wait, Schoonmaker?
Yeah, I was not high.
Yeah,
on
they don't
Schoonmaker.
What?
I was not.
I didn't know. I didn't know a
Schoonmaker.
lot about Schoonmaker, but I went back and watched the film on that dude, bro. He's a blocking machine.
He's.
Yeah, he was good.
I'm talking like passing game.
He's pretty good there too.
Yeah, he's good, dude.
But I got a tight end that's not half.
Tony saw him today.
Tony's like
Literally saw him at practice today, dude.
Greg Ferguson better
Yeah.
down here in Dallas.
Yeah, he was good. He was good for me. He was really
I
good.
think he flew under the radar because he didn't get a lot
Yeah.
of touches. So
I-
you think about like
Right.
Sam Laporta and Dalton Kincaid, and even our boy out there and with the
Payne
Buccaneers
Payne
now,
Durham.
Payne Durham. They all got a lot of touches and they were involved heavily into their offense.
Luke Musgrave,
Schoonmaker
right.
was blocking for them 2 guys too.
Yeah,
And putting
that's-
people on their hind parts all
but
season.
still, their offense will be passing game will be fine, even though we don't think
Okay.
JJ's a guy. He'll still do enough to get them the wins they need in the Big Ten.
Let's play a
but-
game called over under for JJ McCarthy.
Oh, by the way,
Mhm.
I don't know if anyone would say this. Even though Jim Harbaugh is suspended 3 games, they're going to win those 3 games. Just want to get that out the way.
They play cupcake teams. They only
Exactly. If it was the 4
Dude,
games like it originally was supposed to
One
be,
of their games
I
is
would not have
Rutgers.
them in here. I would say that right now.
But here's the
They're
thing:
gonna win those
even if they play
games.
look, if it's 4 games, look, it's East Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green, and Rutgers. Dude, come on! They would have won all 4
Like
of those.
I know someone would probably be like, well, Jim, in the comments, there's always that one person be like, but Jim Harbaugh, he's out the 3 games, so I'm not sure about that.
And the khaki
if people are saying that against them teams, I even said that.
I don't know. Big Fridge.
I even said that on the. I said that on the morning show. I said JJ McCarthy can recall the plays for Michigan those games, and they'd still win.
All JJ McCarthy has to do those 3 games just to be like, okay, I want to be on the bench.
Blake Corum. All you gotta do is hand it to Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum the whole game. I bet you if he never threw one pass, they would win those games too.
They'll be fine those 3 games. I'm just saying because someone like Big Fridge would point it out, and I don't want to address it.
No, stop it.
I don't know, Fish. And after what he did yesterday, I don't know.
Hey man, it is what it is. I don't trust JJ McCarthy.
I don't either. Life. I'm just saying.
Hey, let's play a game of over under though. JJ McCarthy over under 12 interceptions this year.
Over.
Under.
I'm going over.
Under. Easy under. How can you say over? He had 5 last year.
Oh, yeah.
5.
Other than the playoff, which would make it 7.
Fridge,
I think it's slightly under, but I think he throws more this year.
He's not serious.
It's under. It's under 12. Bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, just ignore Fridge. I told him about that trolling stuff.
Yeah, does it again. Sora will probably take care of it.
Yeah. Sora on the mind parts, bro. Balls.
Sora's at that bar he's at. He just gets like his Fridge trolling sense, comes in, snipe him, and go back to doing what
he take that first beer, he's like
Fridge.
He's on like these kind of sunglasses.
Nah, Sora
I'm going after Fridge right now.
This man Fridge.
Oh, that's right. Jeff will do it. Go ahead, Jeff. Time him out for 300 seconds.
Jeff, I'm handing you the sniper rifle. Here you go. There you go.
Go ahead, time him out for 300 seconds so you can think about what he did.
Yeah, brother.
All right, Fish, and give us your East winner.
You already know it's Michigan.
Yeah.
I know JJ doesn't have to do a lot. He had 2,700 yards last year, 22 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He don't have to do a lot to make this team spark. That O-line and both of those running backs healthy, because Donovan Edwards kind of came on to the scene as Blake Corum.
We're not talking about Georgia. I know what she was doing. He can't get out of his brain. Dijon Mustard.
Yeah. Oh no, I kept thinking he's hurt. Yes.
What?
It's like I take that back. I don't want anybody.
Oh no! Wait a minute.
That back.
What?
I take that back. I hate Georgia, but anyway. But yeah, no. Donovan Edwards came on when Blake Corum got hurt, so we kind of saw the rise of him. Blake Corum rushed for 1,400 yards before he got hurt, and Donovan Edwards it was 10 yards shy of 1,000. So I think it's a guarantee, regardless of what JJ McCarthy does this year. You're going to have 2,500 yards rushing it. Just in the 2 running backs, not including JJ's rushing yards, if they're both healthy this year. 2,500 yards guaranteed.
Exactly.
They lose Ronnie Bell and Andre Anthony. Ronnie Bell to the NFL, Andre Anthony to the portal to Oklahoma. Those are big losses for Michigan in the wide receiver room. And I think if they would have went out, and this is the biggest flaw I think for this Michigan team this year, even though I have them as the winner, they should have went out and got them a solid 1 or 2 wide receivers from the portal, from a SMU, from a Cincinnati. Like they should have went out and got them somebody for JJ to throw to, because you really just don't have a standout person. Shoemaker, however you say his name, he's gone at tight end. Ronnie Bell's gone. That you don't have a number 1 receiver unless somebody really steps up. So there's nobody at receiver really scares me from Michigan at all. But the 2 running backs scare me just enough to pretty much make up for it. But anyway, great secondary, Will Johnson. I wrote the other dude's names down, but I ain't even going to look at my list because I'm just kind of free doing it here. But this is my prediction for the year. I think that Michigan will beat Ohio State. I think Ohio State will beat Penn State, and I think Penn State will beat Michigan.
I think
Ohio, and it will go in a circle. I think it will all go in a circle.
I think for me,
that's my kind of hot prediction. But I think Michigan will have the tiebreaker with Ohio State beating Penn State, and Michigan beating Ohio State.
Is this for me? I have Ohio State losing 3 games, of course. Penn State 2, Michigan 1. I think they're going to lose to Maryland.
You think so?
Good.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, we saw how close Maryland kept it. Maryland's better this year.
Well, it's funny that you say that.
You have Maryland,
my East winner is no. Just kidding.
I was say do it. Do it for the people. For the people.
I
No.
don't have any of your guys' picks.
Oh,
Penn State.
Penn State.
If I remember, yep. I will say if I remember the college football playoff video, it's Penn State. Because didn't you have them at 6 for that?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I have to go back and look. Penn State defense didn't really change that much other than overrated Joey Porter Jr. Y'all know how I feel about him. And he getting tossed around by George Pickens. But I think that's going to make him better. I think that happened to him will make him better. Let's just caveat by saying that. Chop Robinson's still on that team. Mm-hmm. And Drew Allar, people tend to forget, like, that dude was probably the best quarterback coming into college for his recruiting class. Then he ends up going out of Ohio. Then he ends up going to Penn State. And the little bit that we did see of him last year was still impressive. He still looked a little timid, but you could tell he was a freshman, right? This year, he's
wasn't he in the same class as Klubnik?
He was. It was him and Kate Klubnik.
Yes.
So Drew Allar wanted to stay close to his family. He wanted to go. He either was going to go to Ohio State and Penn State, and he chose Penn State. I believe that was the story. That tells you how good James Franklin is at flipping recruits from their hometown. But he's close enough to his family where he can make a couple hours drive, and he's still back home too. Yeah. Penn State's got a deep history, and probably, James Franklin's selling point is Sean Clifford's probably out of here. Next guy is you. You could bring us prominence back and glory back to Penn State. That's very, very attractive for a young quarterback, especially with his caliber of talent. And I think he can do it, man. The two running backs there, Nick Singletary and our boy Katron Ching Chong Allen are still there. Ching Chong Allen. And Nick Singleton, bro.
Cody was not ready for it.
Every time I hear it, I'm like, bro, what the hell?
Yeah, I gotta tell you the story behind that. But Katron Allen and Nick Singleton are going to be a very good supporting cast. Your quarterback in college really needs a really good running back, even in the NFL. But going into your sophomore year, very first start, I don't think James Franklin's as bad as a coach as what people make him out to be, man. Yes, can he recruit? Yes. But let's not act like Penn State was a pushover defense last year, too. And Manny Diaz, as a coach, has been like this as well. So I'm putting my eggs in the basket that he's going to just continue to ascend because he's not a head coach. And he's got a lot riding on his shoulders, too, because you know that he could turn that key the total opposite way and have any of his coordination go down the drain as well. But I trust that they're going to get it together. I trust that they got enough young guys there. I trust that Penn State, because they were so close to beating Ohio State last year and so close to beating Michigan last year. They're so reminiscent to me of Maryland. And because Maryland couldn't get the job done because they were one running back or wide receiver away, Penn State is one running back and one wide receiver already there with their up and rising quarterback. Do we know what Drew Allar is going to be totally like? No. So you're kind of shooting in the dark, but you can go off the talent that the dude already has. If you switch Tolly and him, Penn State, I think across the board for us would probably be the favorites. But, I'm just assuming. Tolly is really good. But Penn State is going to be my East winners. Okay. And this is going to be an old school matchup. The Penn State Nittany Lions versus the Cornhuskers, bro. Ooh, old school matchup right there. And then just to get into my champion is going to be. Y'all ready for this?
Yeah, but
you ain't about to. It has to be Penn State.
Penn State.
I'm about to say
with your playoff predictor, it has to be Penn State.
Yeah, it's Penn State. I still think that I think all these games this year are not going to be blowouts. All the top teams, Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, Nebraska, and Wisconsin. Even throw Purdue in there. Purdue's going to come in and upset a team that they probably shouldn't this year. I still think Illinois is going to be pretty freaking good in this division too. And I think those are going to be the prominent teams in the Big Ten. And Maryland is also going to be really damn good too. So throw them into the mix. And I think, we were talking about the Big Ten East being really damn good. When you think about it across the board, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Maryland, who wants to go against those teams on their worst day? Nobody in the country, not even Maryland, because of who they got at quarterback and how good their coach is too.
You saw him in the intro. You saw him throwing dimes in that intro.
So give me Penn State as my champion in a close game. And them rising up the ranks. Vic shouldn't be too mad this year, but I don't think they're going to go undefeated either. I don't know. A hot take here. I think all the teams in the Big East are going to have at least one loss this year.
I agree with you there. That's not a hot take right there with how good that East is.
I have 100% agree.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. Don't you have Ohio State losing again?
I said undefeated until the Big Ten championship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tony, yes, please.
I said Wisconsin's going to win the Big Ten.
Hell
Whoa.
All right, fishing.
Oh man, Jesus Christ! Easy money, Michigan. Wisconsin does not want this smoke. Wisconsin does not want the Blake Corum and the Donovan Edwards smoke. They don't want it,
man.
Wisconsin going to the playoff, baby. What you talking about?
Yeah, we
let's just imagine that JJ upgrades just a little bit than what he did last year. 22 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. What if it's 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions?
Wait. I think you mean 28 touchdowns and 12 interceptions.
No.
Yes.
No, he did not have 12 interceptions last year.
I'm talking about this year.
He's not going to have 12 interceptions this year.
He had 22 touchdowns last year, 5 interceptions.
Yeah, last year.
I'm saying if he upgrades just a little bit this year, not even a lot, just a little bit, because he doesn't have to do too much. Wisconsin cannot handle it. So it's an easy Michigan W for me. Easy.
Man, crazy.
And I don't think Ohio State can handle it up front either. On the O-line or D-line. I just don't think they're built for it.
Oh, no.
Hold up.
I really just don't think they're built for it.
Dante's like, hold on, fishing. Hold on.
They're not built for Michigan's up front on either side of the ball.
No.
Neither team is. Penn State is.
I think Ohio
Penn State is.
line can be.
But not
Wisconsin. Y'all
not
ain't ready.
Wisconsin.
Y'all
Not Ohio State neither.
I thought you Ohio State's from
Ohio State got Mine Williams and Travion Henderson. What are we talking about? Let's not act like that.
I said on the lines of scrimmage. That's what I said.
Oh no! Ohio State's got one of the biggest offensive lines in the country still.
They're young.
He's over here.
They're young, but they're big.
They're big.
They're big.
Well, you can be all big you can be, but if you can't block, you ain't good.
Sorry, has anybody ever told you it's the motion of the ocean, not the size of the boat?
Yes.
Take that from me, bud.
Not like that.
I'm just saying.
But like something like that. Yeah.
Hey yo. Ain't like that, bro. Ain't like that, bro.
I just use that sound effect so much in the past 24 hours. I just want to say.
Yeah, when he said it's not the motion of the ocean, it's the size of the boat. Bruh.
Ohio State O-line is not going to be that good this year. That's what I'm saying. Even if they're big, I don't care. That's my opinion, though.
Cassie heard eating boats and stuff.
Get out!
Go downstairs.
Bro, you almost made Dante when you did that. You almost made me spit out what I was drinking.
I saw. What you drinking? Vinegar, bro?
No, I was drinking. I'm drinking.
That's
Pepsi.
what people from Wisconsin do. They drink white and rice vinegar.
Nah, bro, I'm drinking
apple
Pepsi.
cider and apple
I ain't
cider and
showing the
apple
logo until they sponsor us, but I'm drinking Pepsi.
You already showed it. You already messed up.
No, I
Hayden,
want like this.
Give us your champion, and it better not be in Wisconsin.
As much as I want to pick Wisconsin, it's tempting. I can't.
I was about to say, bro. I was about to slap you virtually, dog. Go ahead.
I got Michigan here. I think this game is going to be closer than what Fishin's saying. I think it's not going to be a passing shootout at all. I think it's going to be a running shootout between Donovan Edwards, Blake Corum, and Braylon Allen. I give the edge to Michigan because I like their running back depth way more than Wisconsin. Their O-line is also better than Wisconsin's. Michigan's defensive line will probably get a couple wins on that line of scrimmage compared to Wisconsin. So that's why I'm giving the edge to Michigan. It's basically this game's going to come down to, for me, what happens in the trenches. And I think Michigan has the edge there. So I got Michigan. But the fact that Wisconsin's in the Big Ten championship is a huge improvement from last year.
Yes, sir.
You don't want to smoke.
I want the smoke, motherfucker.
Michigan.
I'll take the smoke for him. I am saying Wisconsin beats Ohio State.
Tony, that's why you're my man.
I really meant that.
Oh, for real?
I was so serious.
Oh my God.
Hayden is a homer, and he ain't even picking that.
Tony.
Hey, bro, if it was Ohio State, Wisconsin, I would pick Wisconsin. They're frauds.
Welcome, everybody.
No.
Look, I think they get that win back. I think because they lose
the regular season.
Ohio State during the regular season, and they get that win back in the Big Ten.
And y'all call me crazy.
Hey, I can't say nothing.
Ohio State's going to
even though it's
this year.
It's different. I feel the same way about Florida State. I think Florida State loses in the regular season, gets Clemson in the championship. But at the same time, Clemson, Florida State, Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, different levels. I don't know.
I mean, it's as crazy as Jeff's NFL picks. So, you know.
Nah. You stop.
Big Fridge called you out. He said, I thought Tony said he had the Ohio State undefeated until the Big Ten championship.
What
no, sir. You want the proof? I got the proof right here.
Oh, he
bro.
retracted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Take that back, son. Take that back.
I like all of Hayden's frame of reference is Wisconsin.
Yeah, everything's Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Nah, bro,
Marcos is in the house.
Marcos!
Nah. I see what you're trying to do, Tony. You have the Packers go 3-14. You try to win me back with Wisconsin, and I'll tell you right now, it's working.
I really don't.
It's working.
We'll talk about that later.
If you think a first, hold on, we can move on. But if you think a first-year head coach in the fourth best program in the Big Ten is going to win the Big Ten over Harbaugh, Day, and
Luke
James
Fickle better than Ryan Day.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Hey, man.
Hayden, you might be right. And crazy things happen in college football. That's why we do this. That's why I love this. And I thought this before the show, and I never said it, but I think this would be not only the most disagreement that we would have, but we could all be wrong.
Oh,
Ohio State could win the whole thing. Every single one of us are wrong.
Purdue could win the West and totally eat.
Yeah, they could. Absolutely.
Anything
Illinois too.
Exactly.
Illinois could totally.
That's why this one's fun.
I'll say this: last time we had a back-to-back winner from the Big Ten West was 2019 with Wisconsin because they won it in 2018. Last time.
Oh my Lord!
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be biased here. I'm just saying, like the Big Ten West ever since 2019 have been pure chaos. So anything can happen in the West.
Wait, Jeff, what do you mean if I'm
what
right?
What happens in the Wild West?
Somebody said my smile looks like Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal, bro.
All right.
Wait, what?
I said, y'all need to chill.
Nah.
I mean, as crazy as me thinking that Texas is not going to win the Big 12, I think it's going to be UCF. So
that's where I disagree with you. I think you are.
Okay, guys. Well, this was a fun one, man. Y'all might as well write this down. I'm going to have this on the spreadsheet. At the end of the year, we're going to review this, but this is one of the most fun times of the year is to go through these predictions. We've been so in depth this year. We predicted the group of 5 to the power 5 to all the conferences in the NFL and divisions in the NFL. It's going to be a wild year, man. It's going to be a wild year. And you know what? What's even scarier is next year, because I think that everybody on this panel and everybody in ECG is going to be bookworms, man. We're going to know even more than we do about this next year than we do this year. Like, I feel like all of us are going to be like Inspector Gadget on every single game. I can't.
So much more info for next season.
I can't wait, man. The Senior Bowl ain't ready.